Hello and greetings, fellow StarCrafters. PGL Milncraft here with a 1 versus 1 between the blue Terran player, aTnCloud, versus his opponent, the teal Terran player, not to make them so close that they could possibly be confused, but apparently they did choose those colors, Empire.Kas. And apparently Empire.Kas thinks it's nice to see Cloud back in action. Not sure if that's how close of a reference that is. Perhaps Cloud took a break for a little bit of time or whatever, but I will talk about these players really quickly. Empire.Kas is a very good player. He is Polish, remembering correctly. As evidently Cloud did take a 2-month break, and he said he needs to practice more, but this is the finals from the Gigabyte Cup, and so he's definitely done very well today in order to get himself here. And, okay, so Empire.Kas is a very good player. He made the finals of TSL 3 before losing to Thorazane, and I mean that tournament was kind of a while ago, but still very impressive nonetheless. He lost to, did I say he lost to Thorazane? I think I did. And he's also won several Zotac Cups and several Go SC2-4 Cups. Is that what that's right? And Cloud similarly has won one of those as well. Go 4 SC2 is actually the name of the cup, and he's won number 81. He won that one, and he also won the Zotac Cup number 8. And he was also a Brood War player. He actually played Protoss in Brood War, and was, I think, one of the better foreigners, if I remember correctly. Although it's worth noting that the skill differential between foreigners and Koreans, foreigners being non-Koreans, by the way, is much smaller today than it was back then. Back then it was like Koreans would, like, the worst, like, not the worst Koreans, but like middle tier Koreans would just dismantle foreigner players. Sort of in general. I mean, that's not universally the case, but that was essentially the case. Today it's much closer, where you see a lot of good foreigners like Huck, and I mean, like, really at MLG events too, sometimes the Koreans ended up doing very well, or winning the cup, like MMA did win one of the MLG events, but you also see foreigners definitely competing on very similar terms with foreigners as well. Now, actually, we've got a kind of funny wall, and let's go ahead and talk about these builds just a little bit. I believe that was that a gas first? I believe that was a gas first for Cloud. I did not exactly get, yeah, that was, I think that was definitely a gas first for Cloud, as the orbital command is not even done yet, and the factory is already almost halfway done. This is a very strange wall-in, though, as it does leave a slot right here where a unit can get through. Not sure if that was a mistake, or if he's planning on moving something around. In the meantime, we see that Empire.Kas did not go for a gas first. He's actually opting for a Reaper expand, so he'll be putting down the command center pretty quickly. The barracks right here is going to allow that Reaper to come out. We'll get some scouting information. He will jump between these little cliffs and go all the way to his opponent's base and see what kind of information he can derive. Looks like Cloud is going to go ahead and get a starport right here, and a reactor on his barracks, actually. So I would guess, and a tech lab on his factory. So I would guess from all of this placement that he's most likely going to be going for cloaked banshees. In fact, almost certainly that's what he's doing, given the amount of gas that he's actually building up. Now, even though, okay, so I guess he's just going to put his marines there to be able to block the entrance, but he will need another supply depot in order to fully block that off if he just wants buildings to block that up. So it looks like he actually did. Well, actually, you always need 4 supply depots no matter how you do this to be able to get in. Looks like that Reaper is actually going to do a little bit of damage. Should get one more Marine kill. Nice. And we'll get that SCV kill as well. Unfortunately, we'll finish the supply depot, so it will not supply block Cloud at all. Looks like he's actually running an SCV at his opponent. That is not a good idea. As, oh, actually, wow, bad control there from Kas is going to allow that Reaper to be taken out. He did, however, get vision of all of these 3 buildings and their respective add-ons, so he will have knowledge of exactly what is coming at him, and I would expect Cloak to be going down pretty soon, as well, as he does have a lot of gas. However, even though he has a lot of gas available, he actually doesn't have that many minerals. Is Cloak going down? Don't see Cloak yet, so it's possible he changed his build order after he saw exactly what was going on in the game. Looks like 3 more Marines are going to be going across for Kas. However, Reactored Hellions will deal with those very swiftly, as they will be popping out just in time in order to be able to deal with these Marines. And the Marines are conveniently lined up. They also spot the Banshee. Not be able to get a Hellion kill there. Pretty good control from Cloud there. Meanwhile, Empire.Kas' expansion is already up. He is building a bunker to help deal with those Hellions, so he should be in a pretty good position to be able to deal with the Banshee. The engineering bay is also just finishing. He will not have any turrets up in time in order to deal with this Banshee, but he will have started it already. He only has 2 Marines, actually, so good control from Cloud. Should be able to deal a decent amount of damage here. He already has 1 kill. Oh, no, 3 kills because Marine kills as well. And he's actually taking very little damage. He's going to get a lot of mileage out of this Banshee, especially considering the fact that he did not get Cloak. And very nice control, just skirting around the edges of the cliff there and target firing the weakened Marines. Very nice work. The turret is up now, so that's going to restrict his usage of the Banshee by a great deal. The bunker is also up, so it's going to prevent any more incursions from Cloud into his base. Cloud actually has still not gotten an expansion. Is that really true? Okay, so he still hasn't gotten an expansion, but he's switching into Vikings. So this is either going to be a very, very late expansion with the idea that enough damage will be dealt to Kas's economy that he should be able to catch up. Ooh, Hellion's taking a lot of damage there from the Marines. Or he's planning on expanding later. Oh my god! Banshee 2 hits away from being taken out, but is going to get out of there. There is a Raven available as well. Two more Hellions are moving across to make it 6 Hellions total. However, Hellions being horrible against bunkers are not going to be able to really do anything here. And actually, Empire.Kas is building 5 Marines at a time, so he will be just fine. I don't know if any sort of all-in was planning on being attempted here by Cloud, but it is just simply not going to work. Looks like he's going to move the Banshee back and repair it as well. Now, he's kind of in a funny position because I don't think he did enough damage really to Kas's economy to really make up for the fact that his expansion is so much later. So it's possible he's going to be going for a little bit more harass. I would guess that that would be the case, given the kind of circumstances that they see. I don't think Kas is actually aware that his opponent has not expanded. He is moving these Marines out. Now, he could actually lose a decent amount of Marines. They do have Stim Pack, however. So if he fans them out correctly against the Hellions, he should be able to deal a lot of damage, and we'll be able to take out the Raven as well. Ooh, but he does end up losing all of those Marines. So, I mean, the supply counts are still fairly similar. Losing that Raven was certainly very costly. And actually, let's just check on the units lost tab. We do see that causes about 550 minerals greater on the units lost tab. But if we go to the... Isn't there a resources spent tab? Spending. Here we go. So if we go, we do see that, oh, actually, he spent 600 more on his army as well. So his army is considerably larger than Kas's, however, he still has to break this bunker. So this is going to be an all-in push right now. The SCVs are involved as well. He's going to be target firing that bunker with everything that he has. He really wants to take that down. The Hellions, meanwhile, are taking out the repairing SCVs. Looks like he is able to take out the bunker. However, a replacement bunker is set up behind. He's going to want to get Marines in that almost immediately. Yes, the Marines stim and get inside the bunkers. That's going to help out a lot. Looks like the SCVs should probably be repairing instead of target firing. He's going to pull them back and actually just switch that. It looks like he's pretty confident that he's going to be able to hold off the rest of this attack, as he does send his mules back to be able to mine more resources. And it looks like Cloud is actually completely out of units, so that all-in failed. Cloud is now down to 23 supply. If we go to the income tab, it looks like Kas is ahead by 9 harvesters, and Cloud has decided not to climb his way up from that game. So that was kind of a weird all-in. I don't think I've ever seen that. So we got a Vikings. So it was the Banshee Harass and Reactor Hellions, a couple Marauders, and SCVs, and then the Raven. That was the strangest all-in I've ever seen. I can honestly say that was the strangest all-in I've ever seen. That might be an actual build, and I just might not know about it. Obviously, I don't know every build, but I'm trying to think what purpose the Raven would have. I would guess the point defense drone if he's suspecting Marauders for his opponent, because Hellions aren't very good against Marauders. That is my guess. I don't know if that guess is correct. I suppose it could also help against opposing Vikings if there's any sort of war for air domination, but because there aren't any siege tanks, winning the air war isn't super important, although I suppose it would help with your Banshee to stop your Banshee from being taken out by opposing Vikings. So, that's possible. I mean, I'm sure it was intended to be a point defense drone. Unfortunately for him, Kas got all Marines, and Marines and bunkers are pretty good against basically everything, as they have pretty high DPS, and so looks like Empire.Kas was able to win that game, and we're going to move on to game number 2. This is PGL Milncraft signing off.